Dear friends, I will discuss the topic on market information services. The major objective of this topic is to understand the value of information and role of market information service, appreciate the impact of market information service in the context of agriculture and the role and significance of agriculture extension service. As we all know that market information is crucial for effective marketing management, and marketing excellence of a firm is related to the way in which the information is managed, and market intelligence is the result of correct marketing decision, and the validity of these decisions depends on the information available to the manager. The way in which a business firm handles marketing information makes the difference between the winning and losing the business game. What is the importance of market information services? This market information services is a means for increasing the efficiency of marketing system and promote improving market price formation. It enables farmers to plan, harvest and market their produce and negotiate with the traders on price. It enables the traders to move produce from a surplus to a deficit market and to make decisions about the viability of storage during peak seasons. And mostly market information services are primarily it is a data gathering, and it suffers its commercial approach because of resource constraints, and the major emphasis on its sustainability and commercial utility depends on how tailoring the service to meet the resource available. And what is the definition of market information services? A service, it is usually operated by the public sector, which involves the collection of a regular basis of information on prices and some cases quantities of widely traded agricultural products from where? From rural assembly markets, wholesale and retail markets, which is appropriate. Then dissemination of this information on a timely and regular basis through various media to whom? To farmers, traders, government officials, policy makers and the consumers. And coming to the significance of market information services, it provides a transparency in the sense a full awareness of what are the parties involved in the prevailing market prices and the related information. Then in that way it turns out contribute to arbitrage. So arbitrage is nothing but it is an act of buying at a lower price and selling at a higher price. A trader in particular market, a trader A, he see the prices in A, B, C markets and see which market the price is low. Then he will purchase there and sell it in other B or C market. So that is called the arbitrage. Theoretically, when a marketing system functions efficiently, prices at different markets are influenced by arbitrage activities of traders. There are two types of arbitrage you can discuss. One is called spatial arbitrage. It is here the traders take advantage of price difference until this difference decreases to a level of transaction cost, selling and buying cost. Whereas the temporal arbitrage is nothing but the storing of products in order to make advantage of expected higher prices later in the season or in subsequent years. What are the impact of this market information services? Say once the farmer has the information on market information on prices, it facilitates the farmers for efficient allocation of product, how much land he can allocate for a particular crop, how much he can allocate land for another crop. So that way it facilitates allocation of productive resources, and also it improves bargaining position of farmers with the traders because he knows the prices, and also the information reduces transaction cost by reducing risk because already he knows the information and he can decide which market he can sell his produce, and if the prices goes down he can stop the selling of the produce. Then lack of information is an entry barrier to production and trade because if the farmer does not know the price information, he will not grow any crops because he does not know what price he will get. On the other hand, the trading means unless you know the basic price, what is the price, base price prevail today, then the trade will not take place. Market information can be particularly valuable where countries are changing over from a state controlled marketing system to one of private enterprise to aware of market opportunity, because state control means it is everything is controlled by the government, whereas the free market the price is decided by based on the demand and supply. Then this market information services, it contribute for more efficient marketing, especially improved spatial distribution. The market information is beneficial for all the stakeholders, namely consumers, farmers and traders. And the essence of the market information service is that it should provide commercially useful information on a timely basis and useful to policy makers. An important component of early warning system for food security is it can assist in identifying areas of possible shortages and can also highlight whether the prices are above or below normal seasonal trends. Then coming to the market information scenario, current scenario, many developing countries, though they strive for national development, but they are not providing adequate decisive actions in terms of the adequate level of awareness about the use and value of information. Another thing is the major problem with the market information services, they are more concerned with the process and analyze the data rather than they provide speedy and useful information to farmers and the traders. Then the reflection of the lack of commercial orientation by the officials who see data primarily in terms of its use for planning and control purpose. So in that way, if you take the market information services, for example the AgMarkNet, the government of India using the well developed ICT tools, they developed this AgMarkNet portal where it connects all the wholesale market from different states and in turn the states market portal to the main portal and in turn it disseminate to all the stakeholders by preparing report or whatever may be. And then coming to the agriculture extension services, we know that so currently the agriculture technologies are disseminated by our extension officials, but still there exists a gap remains the extension in challenge in extension system, and the extension agents, extension functionaries, they act as an intermediary between the farmers and the researchers by providing all types of technologies. The history of organized extension service in India dates back to prior independence. So it has got three phases. The first phase is from 1948 to 1960, in which the Grow More Food campaign and community development programs were taken up. During the second phase, during 1960 and 74, the intensive agriculture development program, intensive agriculture area program, high yielding variety programs were taken up. The third phase, which consists of research based extension methodology, it consists the national demonstration program, operational research project and lab to land program. Then if we take the Grow More Food campaign, the main emphasis was to increase food grain production, and after the independence the central government redefined the objectives of the campaign by attainment of self-sufficiency by 1952. Here the field demonstration and contact with the farmers to introduce the improved techniques and initiation of dialogue with the villages were the main lines of approach. Then this followed by the community development program, which was aimed to achieve equality of status among people. The entire country was covered with the community development program, and the operational units were community development blocks. The block is treated as an administrative unit for all the development departments for tackling the problems of rural people in a coordinated manner. The intensive agriculture development program 1960, this package program was to promote the use of inputs such as fertilizers, improved seeds and insecticide in the most profitable combination, with a view to ensure maximum returns on the package of these scarce factors in the shortest possible time. On the other hand, the intensive agriculture area program was introduced during 1966. The main objective is development of scientific and progressive agriculture in an intensive manner in the various areas which have high production potential. The high yielding variety programs was introduced during 1967. This high yielding variety program was implemented by the state government under the center's overall encouragement. Here the program was mainly concentrated on wheat, paddy, hybrids of maize, sorghum, bajra. High yielding varieties have been evolved and introduced in the country since 1965-66. The national demonstration program was introduced in 1965. Here it mostly involved in the demonstration of technology for high yielding varieties program, it was decided that the scientists responsible for the improved technology should themselves demonstrate on the farmers field so that its benefits could be carried out effectively to the farming community at large. Both state and central government, research stations, agriculture universities are involved in carrying out this demonstration at field level. The Operation Research project was introduced in 1971. The main purpose is to test, adapt and demonstrate the new agriculture technology in farmers field, and also to calculate profitability of new technology which is meant for increasing production and returns substantially. And then next, the Lab to Land program was launched by the ICAR in 1979. The main objective is to improve the economic conditions of the small and marginal farmers and landless agricultural laborers by transfer of improved technology developed by research stations and agriculture universities. This provided an opportunity to the agricultural scientists to come in close contact with the farming community. In a way, the essentials of overall the market intelligence services, so there should be a separate institution structure to establish this market information services, which can ensure the sustainability of this market information services by analyzing the marketing systems and its information needs. It should mostly focus on products and the market needs, and the should also give market information for consumers, and the frequency of collection of information is also should be wide, should be there. To sum up, I can say that the market information service is with a necessary commercial focus should initially concentrate on just one or few principles, wholesale and assembly markets. Now because of the development of ICT, now the government of India, the AgMarNet covers more assembly markets covering wholesale and retail markets, and also the product coverage includes crops which have a sizable number of producers which are seasonally important and high demand. The market intelligence should plan to provide information on a daily basis, even if this require additional fund and extra time. The market intelligence information service also provide up-to-date price information on perishables which prices changes continuously. Then these above market information service activities taken on a visibly sustainable basis that may be expanded based on the requirement. Finally, irrespective of different methods of information provision is adopted, it is important that the regular, timely and reliable market information is collected and made available to farmers with appropriate interpretation. Thank you for patient hearing.